This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The Legends of the Jews, Volume 4 by Louis Ginzberg, Chapter 4, Part 2, David, his tomb. When David was buried, Solomon put abundant treasures into his tomb. 1,300 years later, the high priest Hyrcanus took 1,000 talents of the money secreted there to use it in preventing the siege of Jerusalem by the Greek king Antiochus. King Herod also abstracted great sums, but none of the marauders could penetrate to the resting place of the kings. Next to David, his successors were interred, for it was sunk into the earth so skillfully that it could not be found. Once on a time, a Moslem pasha visited the mausoleum, and as he was looking through the window in it, a weapon of his ornamented with diamonds and pearls dropped into the tomb. A Mohammedan was lowered through the window to fetch the weapon. When he was drawn up again, he was dead, and 3 other Mohammedans who tried to enter in the same way met the fate of their comrade. At the instigation of the Qadi, the Pasha informed the Rabbi of Jerusalem that the Jews would be held responsible for the restoration of the weapon. The Rabbi ordered a 3 days fast to be spent in prayer. Then lots were cast to designate the messenger who was to be charged with the perilous errand. The lot fell upon the beadle of the synagogue, a pious and upright man. He secured the weapon and returned it to the Pasha, who manifested his gratitude by kindly treatment of the Jews thereafter. The beadle later told his adventures in the tomb to the Hakam Bashi. When he had descended, there suddenly appeared before him an old man of dignified appearance and handed him what he was seeking. Another miraculous tale concerning the tomb of David runs as follows. A poor but very pious Jewish washerwoman was once persuaded by the keeper of the tomb to enter it. Hardly was she within when the man nailed up the entrance and ran to the Qadi to inform him that a Jewess had gone in. Incensed, the Qadi hastened to the spot with the intention of having the woman burnt for her presumptuousness. In her terror, the poor creature had begun to weep and implore God for help. Suddenly a flood of light illumined the dark tomb, and a venerable old man took her by the hand and led her downward under the earth until she reached the open. There he parted from her with the words, "Hasten homeward, and let none know that thou wert away from thy house." The Qadi had the tomb and its surroundings thoroughly searched by his bailiffs, but not a trace of the woman could be discovered, although the keeper again and again swore by the prophet that the woman had entered. Now the messengers whom the Qadi had sent to the house of the woman returned and reported they had found her washing busily, and greatly astonished at their question whether she had been at the tomb of David. The Qadi accordingly decided that for his false statements and his perjury, the keeper must die, the very death intended for the innocent woman, and so he was burnt. The people of Jerusalem suspected a miracle, but the woman did not divulge her secret until a few hours before her death. She told her story and then bequeathed her possessions to the congregation under the condition that a scholar recite Kaddish for her on each anniversary of her death. End of Chapter 4, Part 2, David.